way he said in Matthew 4 verse 3 that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word, Matthew 4 verse 4, that proceeded from the mouth of God. So you depend on prayer and the word to live out the glorious destiny that God has occasioned for you. This is why it's important for you not just to pray, but know how to pray effectively. So when we talk effectual prayer, we are talking effective kind of praying. And Jesus showed us 3 things to avoid and 8 things that we must incorporate into our prayer enterprise. The 3 things Jesus told us to avoid is in Matthew chapter 6 from verse 5 to 8. After showing us those things, then he now showed us the 8 things we should pay attention to. Matthew chapter 6 verse 5. He said, when thou prayest. He didn't say if thou prayest, because you must pray. Prayer is a must for you. So he said, when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are. Can you imagine that hypocrites pray? And pray a lot. But what's the focus of the hypocrite? He said they love to pray standing in the synagogue and in the corner of the street, that they may be seen of men. So the first thing Jesus told us to avoid in prayer is showmanship. Jesus is not saying don't pray on the street. Jesus is not saying don't pray in the synagogue. But Jesus is saying prayer is not about showmanship. Now, this is the danger of showmanship prayer. He said, verily, I say unto you, they have their rewards. That's why people who pray showmanship, all they have is applause and titles. They say, this is a prayer machine. Oh, this is a prayer warrior. And they walk like prayer warriors. He said they have their rewards. This is the danger. No transformation, no miracles, no power, no victory, but they have their reward. Their reward is hand clap. In fact, some people respect them for being spiritual giants, and they love it. Oh, some of them want to go down in history to be recognized as prayer warriors. But you will never trace anything supernatural to their praying. You know why? God does not reward them. He said they have their reward. He went further in verse 6. He said, but thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet. He said, when thou hast shut the door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which is in secret will reward you openly. So the people who pray effective prayers, they have proofs. Those who pray for showmanship, they have no proofs. So the first thing Jesus told us to avoid is showmanship. The second thing Jesus told us to avoid is unnecessary activities. That's why I said you should pray in the secret. Because prayer is sacred. You are praying to a spirit that is holy. So he said, leave the rituals, leave the many rituals. You will defy the prayer. It's a sacred enterprise. So he said, go to a secret place and pray with reverence. Pray with honor. Pray with focus. Pray with understanding that you are communing to your Father, one who deserves reverence. Because Father means sustainer. You are praying to the one who preserves, sustains your life. You are praying to your Maker. So Jesus is telling us to be careful not to remove the sacred component of our praying. This is where motive comes into prayer. Because it has to be sacred. He's not saying every time you pray you must lock the door. No. He's just telling you that prayer is a private, holy, sacred endeavor that is between you and your God. Prayer is not about what your neighbor is thinking. Prayer is not between you and your neighbor. Some people are praying, they are more concerned about what people are thinking. That's why you see the many dramas. They are concerned about what somebody is thinking, how somebody is perceiving them. You will defy your prayer. He said it's between you and God. It's a sacred thing. You are praying to a spirit that is holy. So make sure you shut out everything that will corrupt your prayer. and pray to your heavenly Father. Number 3, verse 8. Okay, go back. It said, but when you pray, it said, use not vain repetition as the heathens do. It said, for they think that they shall be heard of their much speaking. Notice that Jesus is comparing all of these kinds of operation to specific people. Showmanship, he said, they are hypocrites. Vain repetition, he said, is for the heathen. These are godless people. These are evil people. He said they bring rituals. Because, when you don't have a living God, when you don't have a God that can answer your prayer, you will have to substitute a lot of things to replace make for the absence of the God. If I want to talk to you, sir, and I know you hear me and you answer me, do I need to come and do like this? No, sir. I will speak to you and receive reply. But do you know why the hidden? Well, in case there's no answer, at least appreciate them for the activity. So Jesus is saying, when you want to pray, don't bother with those vain activities. You are talking to a living God. So he's telling you about consciousness in prayer. That is very important, the kind of consciousness you sustain. That you are talking to a God who is alive and that God hears you. In fact, Jesus added that he hears you even before you pray. He knows your motive. So 3 things you must avoid as far as Jesus is concerned is showmanship. Showmanship is for hypocrites. Number 2 is defiance of your prayer with activities and externalities. He said your prayer must be sacred. It's between you and God. Anytime you are praying and your motive shifts to what people think, just stop. Ask God to help your heart. You have started wasting your destiny. Anytime you are praying and your motive is and focus is not God, just stop. Ask God to help you. Jesus has already cancelled it. He's the one you are praying to. He has already told you, if that's what you are doing, there's no answer. So stop quickly. Don't waste your time. And then number 3, Jesus told us not to fill our prayers up with rituals. Some of us, our ritual is our talk. We just bring unnecessary grammar. Some of us, our ritual is our posture. Somebody is praying, is doing like this. Is it God you are talking to like that? Who else can you talk to like that? That will think you are okay. You think about it. I know there are realms in prayer where you start interacting with energies and you can't contain it. But if you enter there, it will show that you have entered there. Leave drama. Somebody just come to pray. He just enters the prayer altar and 2 minutes later. Now, you can claim that he came high. No problem. Is that how you pray in your house? There's no sincerity, sir. When you now see people, you can't hold yourself. You will waste your destiny. We teach like this because we have a burden for a generation. So that after 10 years, you won't look at your life and start questioning the things that should have lifted you that have no result. You now say, God, where are you? We were praying. No, you were not praying. You were wasting your life. Avoid these things. Avoid showmanship. Avoid any external thing that tries to defy your intimacy with your God.